Hey guys, it's Ryan live from Unbound. You guys are having a great day. So today and for the remainder of this week, I'm going to be uploading the full resolution TAKESHI Web Comics and Magical Goldberny Smith Web Comics on our Patreon collections tab. So if you guys are $5 tier and up patrons on Patreon, you guys will be able to access the full resolution archive of TAKESHI Web Comics, Magical Goldberny Smith Web Comics, and so much more on our Patreon as soon as I'm done. I'm trying to do it at a pace of releasing 20 comics on Patreon a day. And unfortunately, that has been sending like 20 notification emails to our patrons every day, which is kind of annoying. So I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to hopefully switch it up. Basically, I'm going to accomplish kill two birds with one stone, essentially. And I'm going to release all the comics back to back on my end, and then I will parse out their release to every Saturday, and only 5 comics every Saturday, essentially. So you guys will only get maybe, if you guys are patrons, you guys will only get maybe at most 5 notifications every Saturday, because I'm gonna parse out the releases and schedule them for every Saturday, just 5 comics, and that way you guys won't be flooded with emails for the next several days. You'll just get like one email, or I should say, not one email. You'll get one day with maybe 5 emails, and that's basically it on a Saturday. No less, when nothing's busy. So, again, I'm just trying to make this a little less annoying and a little less irritating for everyone. But I'm doing my very best on the end to get all these comics up for you guys. It's taking a long time. It's taking a lot of work, but it's going to be really nice in the long term because, well, I won't have to ever do this again. Also, you guys will be able to access everything on Patreon. You don't even have to use the exclusive website anymore. We're basically gonna, well, we might keep the exclusive website just in case, but we just don't need it anymore because Patreon now allows us to post up archives on Patreon, and it's unlimited space. So we can just literally post all of our work on there, and we can just keep posting our work on there. So that's what we're gonna do. They've made it way easier to, and I've tested it too. It's pretty easy to access the comics and everything else. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing for this entire week. I'm just dedicating all of my time to that, and just to make it a little less annoying, I'm going to be uploading 20 comics on Patreon a day. And like I said before, you're only going to get 5 notifications on Saturday because I'm going to be scheduling the posts to release only 5 comics a time on each Saturday. So that will make it way less annoying, way less irritating. It's going to take a little bit of planning and scheduling on my end to get that done, but I'll get it done. And yeah, it's just a lot of work, guys. I'm literally just dedicating this entire week to doing it because I had a little bit of time, so I might as well do it. And but basically, when next week starts, I'll need at least a couple of days to just try kind of relax, and then I will get started on the new TAKESHI webcomic for the Mouth of Hell. And I should thankfully next week still have plenty of time up until the end of this month to finish that new webcomic for you guys. And we hope you guys enjoyed the new Magical Goldberny Smith webcomic. By the way, speaking of which, you guys can view that comic in full resolution on Patreon if you guys are current patrons. We've also released it everywhere else too. But on Patreon, we've made sure, I'm also instituting a new policy, I guess, where whenever we release a new comic, we'll just pin it to the top of the page so that no one really misses it. We'll have to unpin it, of course, the next time we release a new comic, but it'll take at least a couple of weeks before that ever happens, right? Possibly even a month. So, just a way to make sure that patrons never lose the notification that a new comic has been released. Because I know sometimes they like to stop in kind of late just to check out the work. But yeah, I'm just doing my very best on this end, guys, to make Patreon a lot better and a lot easier for all of our patrons on Patreon. And apologies for the couple of days of 20 email notifications. I almost forgot that Patreon would be sending those notifications, but I did send out a lot of warnings. I sent out a lot of heads up and a lot of warnings ahead of time before I started doing that. But now I think I found a better method of doing this, both in my end for uploading the comics like back to back and getting it out of the way essentially, and also making sure that you guys aren't swamped with emails by just parsing them out to just 5 webcomic releases on Patreon every Saturday. So that's what I'm going to do. And again, if you guys are supporting us on Patreon, thank you again so much. It means a lot, guys. It really does. And yeah, I'm just doing the very best I can on this end. Keep in mind, I'm also learning voiceover from the voiceover blueprint. I'm taking a little bit of a breather from that this week because I just need to focus on the Patreon. It's a lot of work, guys, and I'm doing my very best. By the way, there are director's commentary on every comic.